Hey guys, we're Belinda95, recording live from the local county prison cell. I know it hasn't been that long since I recorded the prediction for what is apparently a completely different fight than what I made a video for, but let's not get into that. It's just I'm not going to have a chance to do it later in the week, probably, or I'm not going to feel like it later in the week, so I'm just going to do it now. And this is one that I had some reservations about doing, but I figure may as well just get it out of the way and have a little fun with it. So this is King Ghidorah of the many different names that he from Godzilla, and Eternatus from Pokemon Sword and Shield specifically. This is actually my second Godzilla versus Pokemon fight. My first one would be Mothra versus Xerneas. And unlike that one, I don't know. This one by rights should be better. Like, this should be a better matchup than that. But this just doesn't. I'm not feeling this one as much. I don't think the two genres aside. I don't think they should be synonymous. I don't think we should be putting Pokemon versus Godzilla characters necessarily. I don't know if I even said this in the Xerneas Mothra one, but like the size discrepancy is it's like 12-1. Like Ghidorah is like 600 feet tall or something like that, right? Or some insane thing, right? Several hundred feet tall. Let's just say that. I'm not gonna specifically say 600, but let's say several feet tall. And Eternatus is like 50. Like 50 feet tall. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, but then again, they've shown that, like, most of the time, fights like this aren't really determined by something like that. But let me get into it, and you guys know I like doing Pokemon fights, so let's just have a little fun with it here. So, Ghidorah is also known as Monster X, is not from a planet run by the Zillions, but the Zillion, I think they're called the Zillions or the Zirians or whatever. They are a race of people that observed Ghidorah being like terrorizing them. Ghidorah was essentially born from like a meteor, right? Or comes in the form of a meteor, and is on their planet, is kind of prophesized as a end of days sort of character. There's multiple different incarnations of Ghidorah, by the way, and there's time travel involved and shit like that. So like, let's not get into a huge thing about what specific type of character Ghidorah is. But essentially, Ghidorah is one of the big bads of the Godzilla universe, regardless of what incarnation you're using. And one of the constants, some of the constants are multiple heads, gravity / magnetism control, and actually, I think that's about it. That's usually what. Oh, and flies, I guess, but that's But speaking about that gravity magnetism control, yeah, Ghidorah has the ability to generate magnetic fields around it, which have been known to like pull buildings apart and things like that, and been known to like suck monsters in towards it. I think that's more of the video game specifically, but and whatnot, and it's more so concentrated in its primary, form of attack, known as the gravity beams, right, or the gravity ray, or I think they're gravity something. Even though they're called gravity, they look like lightning, so it's probably, and considering it, you can manipulate magnetic fields and whatnot, it's more likely that it's like some form of electromagnetic, like some form of, electricity, more than likely. because they don't really act in any way that gravity does. And I mean, I think it's been explained that it's like, ion, like, particleized gravity. It's a weird thing. But the point is, they're basically just death rays. They've shown to be matched by Godzilla's atomic breath. They've shown to, but they don't really act in the way gravity does. So they're just basically a laser beam. Other than that, Ghidorah's got incredibly hard scales that make it like a tank that can, shrug off most physical attacks. I think it took a 6-on-1 effort to take it down, and that's kind of its weakness. That if it has attacks coming from multiple directions, that it's hard for the three heads to collaborate on which threat to focus on. And it's also in the incarnation where it was being controlled by, like an alien scientist. If that signal were to ever get cut off, then it would become suddenly confused about how it got where it is. But that was a very specific, instance of that happening. So that's not like a thing built into Ghidorah. But yeah, and then as for the flight, like it generates hurricane force winds when it flies that can also like destroy buildings and whatnot. It's tangled with Godzilla on multiple occasions, sometimes as Mecha Ghidorah or Kaiser Ghidorah, and so it's been, and it's also fought. It's had to fight like pretty much every other heavy hitter in the Godzilla universe. It's fought Mothra. It's fought. Did it fight? No, wait. No, it fought Godzilla, a baby Mothra, and one more. There was one more monster that fought it in its original appearance. It was a reincarnated larval form of Mothra, Godzilla, and it wasn't Rodan, right? No, because Red Rodan would have been a separate thing. There was another monster there. The point is, there was another monster there that had to fight it to actually like be able to take it on. So yeah, it's one of the heaviest hitters in the Godzilla universe. On to Eternatus, because this is something I know more about, just because Pokemon in general. So Eternatus, like Ghidorah, which is kind of the reason they're fighting, also came in the form of a meteorite in the ancient Galar region, and as a result was able to pretty much cloak the Galar region in a form of energy known as Gigamax energy. And this by harnessing this energy, not only were they able to completely cultivate their entire nation in technology, but also they were able to transform their Pokemon into giant, kaijus essentially. And this would be like a huge phenomenon that would just completely define the Galar culture. Little did they know that when the monster would awaken, it would overflow this energy and make it, kind of run rampant to the point where Pokemon would be Gigamax transforming all over the place, and we'd have giant Pokemon just walking around. So it was actually defeated by Zalacion and Zamazenta and lay dormant for another 1,000 years until it, came to. Now, when this would happen, we actually end up seeing another form of it, but we'll get into that later. So, Eternatus is one of the strongest legendaries just in its base form, right? It is a poison dragon type. Its ability Pressure forces the opponent to use more energy whenever they attack. In game, this is done through power points, but it would just be like a stamina thing probably in a regular fight. And it has access to a lot of really high level poison and dragon moves. it also has access to a move exclusive to Sword and Shield, I think, which would be what is it called, like Gigamax Cannon, I think, where it's 100 base power special move, which is already very powerful, but it doubles in power if the person using it is Gigamaxed, right? It also has the poison moves like Toxic and whatnot. It's got what else does it learn? I think it learns Venoshock or something like that. So it has a litany of poison and dragon moves. And then what I was talking about, that transformation earlier, the transformation is Eternamax Eternatus, which is its quote-unquote true form, where it kind of harnesses all of the energy that it outputs to further beyond Gigantamax itself. Gigantamax just being the, extended form of Gigamax. To the point where, if I'm not mistaken, if maybe Mega Rayquaza or something has it tied, but it is the strongest Pokemon, or the highest stat total Pokemon to date in the game's history. It actually loses attack power, funny enough, but its defensive powers go, like, off the charts. Making it more or less, like, unkillable, unless you happen to be the mythical heroes of legend that were destined to kill it, so on and so forth. And it also learns one more move, which would be its Eterna Beam, which is a dragon-typed buffed Hyper Beam, with the same downsides as Hyper Beam, admittedly, but packing an extra punch and with the dragon typing. So, I mean, it is just by itself, just by being woken up, it's able to put out enough energy to start drastically, altering the Galar region as a whole. And what was it? It was stated that it, like, there was some statement in the Pokedex that said, like, it has an infinite energy output, so that it's able to keep generating this type of energy indefinitely. I don't know how relevant that is to the fight, but so looking at this fight, right? Obviously, like I said, Ghidorah's got the giant, the humongous size advantage. You could argue, like I said, with that infinite energy output, and being able to, like, power enough of the Galar region to actually, force all of the Pokemon to Gigantamax, or to Gigamax, rather. You could argue that that's, enough energy to potentially, destroy Ghidorah. But I mean, maybe if you calculate the energy needed to theoretically, like, grow something that size, multiply it essentially infinitely, right? Maybe you could, in theory, suggest that, okay, Eternatus would have the output to destroy Ghidorah, right? Especially in its heightened form and everything. But the problem is, despite this energy being quote-unquote infinite, it only ever affects the Galar region, so it has to have some sort of limitation in how far it can be implemented. I think when they mean infinite energy, they mean, like, it never stops generating this energy, meaning this energy has to dissipate at some point, right? That it doesn't just linger and keep circulating. Like, the energy is transferred, goes inert, and then Eternatus has to generate more of it. So the energy has finite application, but can be infinitely generated. So it's not like, Eternatus can just keep generating enough energy to the point where it could be able to kill Ghidorah. It either has the potential to, or it doesn't. The other thing to consider is the possibility of typing. Now, at first I thought, well, Ghidorah is clearly a dragon, so... But then I thought about it for a second. I was like, wait a minute. So, and this is kind of a discussion that if I had a Pokemon YouTube channel, I might do something like this. But, and I kind of contradicted this, admittedly, in the King Boo Gengar video, but I've done a lot of Pokemon battles. Dragon in Pokemon doesn't seem to be like, as a type, it doesn't seem to be like a species or a genus. It's like an element. Like dragon is like a type of energy, as it seems, because we've got things like Regidrago, and we've got things that are dragon type that have no dragonic attribute whatsoever, right? Like Alolan Executor just has the power of a dragon, but in and of itself is not a dragon, clearly. Or Altaria has, no dragon attributes, but is somehow a dragon. And again, like I said, Regidrago is like supposedly obtained the power of a dragon, or like dragonic energy or something. So, and in Pokemon Masters EX, there's a Lance dialogue where he says a Pokemon does not have to be dragon type to be a dragon, so it works both ways. Gyarados is considered a dragon, but is not a dragon type. Aerodactyl is considered a dragon and not a dragon type. If we go to Iris, same thing. Aggron and Lapras are considered dragon-esque, but are not dragon types. So, when you put that into it, there's no real way to quantify what would be considered a dragon-type move or a dragon-type attack, because it would have to be the exact same type of energy as in the Pokemon world. Also considering that, the gravity beams, if we're going by the logic that they use electromagnetic energy, why would they be dragon energy-esque in that regard? They would probably be something closer to electric type energy, if anything. But if we can even if we take so I don't think the type application applies here, honestly. So if we're going by that logic, we've got one Pokemon that can sustain the energy of an entire nation indefinitely, right? And the power to, grow things like itself, an energy that can, give something enough power, empower something to the degree that it did, and also do that to itself to phenomenal degree. And then we've got another space dragon that has tackled 6 monsters that independently have destroyed cities. Cities, not countries, mind you, but Ghidorah has also been considered threats to planets. So, if we're talking destructive power, even though Eternatus has, some of the best defenses the game, arguably the best defenses the Pokemon franchise has ever seen, we've also seen Ghidorah tank, shots from Godzilla, and Godzilla is capable of destroying an entire country himself as well. So, with like a single attack, just with a nuclear blast sort of thing. So, in this regard, I think it's scaling wise, I think I go with Ghidorah. I don't know that there was any real indication that I don't think there was any doubt in that, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Ghidorah on this one. Anyway, Verbal Engine 95.